Okay, I haven't done I haven't done a video in a while. I apologize. It's not that I haven't picked up a lot of things. In fact, I've picked up a lot of things um, to go over things I bought for me. But I've been working a lot, and I also have been just like way too into electronic drums lately. So this has been my monstrosity of electronic drum upgrading. Hopefully, I'm getting all this in the camera. But I've been playing. I've been playing an absurd amount of E drums. I love Roland electronic drums. I think they're the best ever. Yeah, I'm not trying to start another debate. Everybody has their preferences, but at the same time, I've had a couple of people want to talk about D'Angelico versus Sire. In fact, actually, we're going to talk about D'Angelico versus Epiphone versus Sire. Actually, I think that might be the road I'm going to go here. The only problem is, what Epiphones do I have anymore? The Jim James doesn't count because that's a totally different animal. You know what? I think I'm gonna make two videos. But right now we're gonna talk about uh, Epiphone or Sire versus D'Angelico. I've noticed that there are people, and this is I'm not meaning to make this directly at someone who did comment, because I think everybody has the right to find a brand that they absolutely love. Like I love Gibson, and so many people just don't love Gibson. So it's not about that. This is just about what I have here, and what my experiences were. So I have the D'Angelico Premier Series solid body. Um, I bought this. Oh, it's been a while already. I think it looks like it's a 2018. So it's already been 5 years. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played it that much. Um, it's weird. It's quirky. My wife saw it. She loved the color. I love the color too. The color really is fantastic. Um, there's no doubt about that. But I've had some issues with it. I'm not gonna lie. I've had some issues with it pretty much right away. Um, one of my tuners broke. So one of my tuners, if you can see, I bought a whole set of 6, but I only replaced one. And this one has a bubble versus the flat back. Um, it just broke. Like I literally opened the case, and I went to restring it, and I turned it, and it just snapped right off. I've also had a serious amount of fret sprout with this guitar, way more than any other guitars that I have owned. It just sprouts immediately. Every season change, 4 times a year, and I've had to file down the frets repeatedly. Um, this I believe has Ovencoal, whatever, a fretboard on it, and I'm not sure if that might be the reason because this is the only one that I do have with that. Um, Another issue I had with it was the switch cutting in and out. That can happen. You just have to move it a few times. It usually comes back. Whatever. Also, the tone knobs are really the coil split knobs. They are like really loose. I mean, really, 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 really loose. Like they just kind of fall when you're playing. That's another issue I have with it, and the pick guard is just kind of. I mean, they used a lot of screws, but it's just kind of a little raised everywhere. That I won't get to show up on camera. And also, I feel like the pickups are, in my opinion, very dull. So this has been my experience with D'Angelico. Okay. Again, I have had this for years, and I love this guitar. I don't care what kind of work I've had to put in it. I love the color. I can get it, to do what I wanted to do. But no, I'm not gonna lie. I don't play it very much. I really don't. In fact, this is the first time I've restrung it recently in a while, in I'm going to say at least 3 years. So, all right, so that's unfortunately how little I come across this. What I will say about D'Angelico is they really, I don't know if they do anymore, but when I bought this, definitely gave me a really supreme gig bag with this guitar. And this guitar, this one specifically, with this extra point here, this guitar does not fit in a regular guitar case of any sort. When I got it from the music store, they couldn't find the case, so they gave me a soft hard bass case, which was just huge. And then my friend called me a few weeks later and goes, I was in the back and I saw the gig bag. So they're very, this one was very form fitted for the kind of bag you needed it to be, or case or whatever, you know. So I have played a lot of the 335, the DCs, and I've only played them at the music store. I haven't had a hands-on version when it comes to 335s. I mean, you know, one, I like having Gibsons. You know, I've had several. And I do have the Epiphone Jim James, which I think is a bit of a different breed. I think they really, really, really nailed that guitar. And I'm not the only person who's reviewed that guitar to believe that. They really, just something about that, they made it perfect. It's dark. The color's dark, but, you know, not comparing it to the Gibson. As an Epiphone, as a guitar, as its own thing. Great. I do have the green Epiphone 335, which again, I've had a lot of problems with. Just like this, the switch cuts in and out. I've had to file the frets on that also several times. And, you know, I have a lot of guitars, and I do not file frets very often. In fact, almost never. The only jobs I've had to do, unless I bought something that I was going to resell and it came that way, was my Epiphones and my D'Angelicos. So, and this D'Angelico. So, that has been my experience. Now, when it comes to Sire, I have to go the other way just because, just for right now, I guess I haven't quite had this long enough to exactly compare the longevity and what will happen. But I've already had this for a decent amount of time, and I, you know, have to say, I think the Sire is a better guitar. I really do. The roasted maple neck is outstanding. I've had no fret sprout, and everybody knows that they have these their edgeless fret system, which I think is fantastic. I have had no control issues, and the controls feel, the knobs are very sturdy. The switch feels very sturdy. I like the pickups in this guitar a lot. I like them a lot. You know, my Epiphone 335 and the D'Angelico with the D'Angelico has Duncan design. They're not Seymour Duncan. They're Duncan design pickups. And I don't know. I don't like them. Sorry, I don't like them. But sound is subjective. But you know, the locking tuners, the glossed over front of the roasted maple neck. I mean, the fretwork is fantastic. The weight is fantastic. I can't say enough about Sire Guitars, and I'm, you know, this is for me. This is the way I believe. And there's someone out there. There are people out there, and this is how they feel about D'Angelico. This is how they feel about Epiphone. Okay, but you know, everyone's right to find a brand that they love. I love Gibson. I really do. But since, you know, I'm getting some questions, if I have to pick, if I was to only pick one of the three brands in the room, it's going to be the Sire. And I'm sorry, but it's absolutely going to be the Sire. No question. Weight, look, playability, neck feel, specs. I think these guitars are absolutely outstanding. I really do. You know, and I have, this is the T7 FM, the more, you know, modern version. And I have the T3 over there, which has also been, you know, a great guitar. I will say that the T3 definitely does have a, I guess I have to say it has a cheaper feel, just a little bit, and mostly just kind of in the satin on the neck kind of reminds me a little bit of a lower end Squire. Just a little. That's the only thing I'll say about it. But the rest of the build quality, the knobs, the switch, the pickups, the bridge, you know, it's extremely impressive, okay? And I think that a lot of people just, you know, can't understand that, there's not enough name branding on Sires to really give it that pushover. Sire still makes all their own parts. They make all their own parts and they make it in their own factory. They're not using other people's parts. Epiphone is using, they're using like, Gibson parts, and those parts are good, but at the same time they're also using a lot of Chinese parts. Gibsons are still using a lot of Chinese parts, okay? Like, or different, import parts. I'm not going to just say Chinese. Like, there's just import parts, you know what I mean, that they're using. So, there's no reason to say that, just because the Sire does not have orange drop capacitors, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong then the capacitors or electronics that it has. This is their electronics, okay? So this is their stuff, and I think they're doing a fantastic job. I really do. So for me, the Sire wins, but I have no problem admitting defeat to anyone else who feels passionately about their guitar. I've had some great Epiphones, I've had some bad Epiphones. I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sires so far, and I have to say that I've loved all 5. Okay, the only reason I sold the Cherry was I had to get some money back real quick, and I bought the H7, the Cherry H7. I did have to sell, and then I bought the H7V right away anyway. So whatever, it doesn't matter. But so I have 1, 2, 3 Sires here right now. I had the 4th, and I had another one that came and went. It was an L7, and I just didn't need another Les Paul right now. I just have too many. I didn't need another Les Paul shape. But otherwise, I really intend to keep all these. And when it comes to Epiphones, I've had, I don't know, 30, 40. Between flips and between personal, had to get it, And Epiphone has their place too, where they really nail some things. I think that Epiphone Jim James is the best Epiphone I've ever played, no question. That Epiphone Joe Bonamassa V Amos, that thing was hard to let go of. That was really hard to let go of. That guitar was outstanding. I mean, a guy drove 3 hours to pick it up from me when he saw it on Reverb. So, that one was also outstanding. Okay, and I have come across some Epiphones that are great, but when it comes to D'Angelico, they're just way down on my list. They just are. I'm sorry, and that's hard for me because I have played in person when I was younger. My father had a lot of friends, and I grew up, in the '90s, and there was still a lot of guitar shows and a lot of guitars and things. I played an original D'Angelico New Yorker jazz box. I mean, at the time, the guitar was worth like $100,000. I got to sit, like. It was a friend of my dad's, and he put the cloth down, and he let me just play a chord or two or whatever. But I got to play one, and I love D'Angelico, and I love everything about it. But as far as their lower end series, that's my opinion of it. I am very willing to give their higher end series a chance, but I don't quite love their solid bodies. So much. Again, this one is a bit of a novelty, and it was cool, and we bought it, and I've had it for years, and I'm not going to get rid of it, and I just don't need another 335 style at all right now. I mean, I am really loaded on 335s. Like 7? Yeah, so I'm really loaded on 335s right now, okay, personally. But they just don't do it for me in their import and lower end import. This is made in Indonesia, so I will try very hard to get one of the DCs. One of the my local store might even lend me one. I'll try and do a review against the H7V, against maybe one of the DCs with the P90s, and see if we can really tear it apart together. But unless I'm, really, really, really surprised, I have a feeling I'm going to go with the Sire. I really do. But that's my opinion, and that's the brands that I love and the way that I rank them. And everyone has the right to love their guitar brands in whatever order they want. That's just my experience, okay? So, but I appreciate it. I'm going to be doing some more videos. Again, I'm going to try and get off the drum set and really, do some more talking, some more videos, and some playing examples and comparisons. I've got some really cool comparisons. I especially want to do a Fender custom shop video soon because I haven't done any of them. And I have a couple of them. So some things coming up, but appreciate everybody. Thanks for watching.